Hello, all you gorgeous entrepreneurial land investors. This is Howard Zonder with my partner in crime live, David Van Steenkist. What an opportunity.
You mean you're not across the country on a Zoom call?
I am actually not, in fact, an AI partner that's just done on a computer. I am flesh and blood. I'm here.
If there's one thing I've learned in my business career, it's that I don't have all the answers. Look, I'm an ambitious guy, and I like to make progress fast. The secret to achieving success fast is to harness the brain power of other people in the community. That's what the Land.MBA Smart Bar is all about. As veteran investor Jesse Marchand said, the Smart Bar gave me the motivation and knowledge I needed to push through the tough times and accelerate my path to success. Seven-figure investor Mitch Milam likes to say, there's one meeting each week that I never miss. It's the Land.MBA Smart Bar. It's like happy hour with my land investing buddies. I always learn something. So if you want to network with like-minded people, make new friends, learn heaps, get questions answered, answer questions for others, learn new strategies, get accountability, and overall, get inspired while having a great time, check out the Land.MBA Smart Bar. For a short time, podcast listeners can get 20% off the annual plan, which comes to an insane $86 per month. Compare this to other programs which charge $250 a month or more. This is hands down the best deal you're going to find and the best way to invest in your success. So don't wait. Please go to land.mba/mastermind. That's land.mba/mastermind and use promo code podcast22 to join today.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. We hope you guys are enjoying your holidays and getting ready for Christmas. We are definitely getting into Christmas spirit by being in Phoenix, where it's nice and warm and sunny. But we've got some jingle bells on the boat here, but you can't really see them. Anyhow.
Oh, we could show them.
All right.
Got to get the full effect.
Christmas
jingle
in
bells
Phoenix.
On a genuine man-made lake. Like everything in Phoenix. Nothing's real.
Well, it's still more real than Vegas, so we're all good.
Right.
Anyhow, what are we talking about today? We've been hearing from newbies, or I should say even
not everybody,
not just newbies, but also some people who haven't even gotten in the business yet, that they're just very fearful of the economy, very fearful of what's going on with interest rates and with the Fed, and is this really the time to be investing? And, has this market sort of run its course? But we also talk to a lot of very experienced investors, and we hear something different from them. So from them, we hear more about, the market's changing. It's settling down, not to nothing. It's settling down from a point of irrational exuberance down to what we'd probably consider to be a more normal market. But some of the market conditions are changing a little bit, and that's what we want to talk about, because as market conditions change, that doesn't mean it's a bad market. It just means we've got to change how we approach the market a little bit. And there is one thing that you can do that will dramatically change your position in the market, and to help you position yourself well. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So stick around, and that's what it's going to be. Dave?
Very good. Very good. Yeah. So really good point. And I understand that why some people are a little bit fearful, and others look at this changing market as an opportunity. So we've kind of used the term hunting and farming before.
We're going to see fishing.
Or fishing. We can define the two. But, from the market that we're coming off of, several years of just irrational exuberance, where most of us were taught, throw enough spaghetti on the wall and some's going to stick. So we just went after the product, having pretty darn good confidence that we could sell it. If we buy it at a good price and we could turn around and resell it at a good price, we're going to be able to sell it. Combining seller financing and all that, we're going to be able to sell it. Whether it's a desert square, an infill lot in a high-end neighborhood, or a really nice, desirable rural piece of land. And now, in a more normalized market, what we're seeing with our own businesses and with many who are in our community, our Facebook group, our mastermind, and our coaching clients, is that you got to be a little bit more strategic. Land is still selling just fine. The desirable stuff, the stuff that people are going to buy no matter what because it's nice land and they want it. The cheap desert squares stuff, and it, particularly in areas where there's a high saturation of inventory, those might be the places that in this market we want to avoid, because that's the demographic that's getting hit.
So let's stick with the metaphor here. So things have been so good for such a long time, for the past 6-7 years. So the fishing metaphor is, it's almost like you just throw some chum in the water and all the fish come up and they're chomping at the chum, and you just take your net and you throw it in there and you just pick up a bunch of fish and drop it in your boat, which is a great analogy since we're on a boat right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go sell it, and there's a market. There was a great market for it. So when that's happening, that's fantastic. When you get into the cold waters in the wintertime and the fish are starting to go a little bit more dormant and get a lot deeper down and harder to catch, as Dave said, you got to be a little bit more strategic. And then so in that model, in that metaphor, it's a little bit more like hunting. But here's the thing. In either case, you're getting a product, right? The fish is the product, the deer is the product. I'm probably going too far with this metaphor. But my point is, we have become conditioned in land to start with the product first. Let's go get a bunch of land and then sell it.
Mm-hmm.
But in a market like we're in right now, this one change, I think, could really, really make a huge difference for a lot of investors. And that is, start with the end in mind. Instead of focusing on the product, focus on the customer. Focus on who you're going to sell the land to.
Yep.
Figure out who's got money and who would be interested in spending some of that money on land, and build a persona, as they say, just a sort of a fictitious person that represents thousands or tens of thousands of people that are similar to that. Figure out what they want. You can even reach out to people and validate that what they want, why they want it, and then go source land for them. So you're basically de-risking it by buying land that you have a pretty good idea you're going to be able to sell, because you know that market is already there, as opposed to going out and buying a bunch of land and saying, okay, I guess I got to go find somebody to buy this thing.
Right.
Who wants to buy this land with no access and no trees and no water?
Right. Exactly. No, you couldn't have said it better. And then from there, you can discover niches. You can, for example, we were talking earlier that one of the hottest commercial asset classes is warehouse right now, and that's with all the way that e-commerce is going and whatnot. That's just going to continue to grow. So, hell, if you're in an area where you're able to get connected to, checking with the Chamber of Commerce and the Economic Development Council, and then building relationships with commercial brokers, agents, who know where the path of progress is, know that, oh yeah, this company might be moving in here. And so you could strategically pick up land within a reasonable distance of those areas. You could also pick up land that is in the path of progress. If you are able to connect with buyers and they're looking for a piece of land to put a commercial building on, at those numbers where you're talking about 7-figure properties, in some cases possibly 8-figure properties, put it, if you've got a buyer in hand, put it under contract, flip the contract for, who knows, a couple $100,000 for an assignment fee.
Yeah, that's right. We want it. Obviously the most important attribute of a market is activity. It doesn't matter how much land they have, how gorgeous it is, how well priced it is. If you don't have buyers, it doesn't matter. So we want to focus our attention first on where are people buying, and then back into it from there. And so, if here's a story. It turns out I learned recently, I didn't even know this, that the CEO of IBM lives in my town, and one of the gals that goes to the gym with me is friends with him. And she was telling me how they were building a big facility up in the Hudson River Valley, a little bit north of where we lived. I didn't even know that. Well, guess what? You put a facility in there that's going to be hiring 1,000, 1,600 people. There's going to be demand. That's a good place to go. There are.
Yep.
So to know where big companies are going to be expanding into, building new facilities, is great information, because you can get ahead of it, because as that brings more people into, they're going to be oftentimes looking for land at a good price, which means now they're getting into the exurbs or possibly even beyond. In the case of IBM, they're based out of Armonk, New York, which is in Westchester County, and you get up to the Hudson River Valley. That's 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So they're getting out there.
Yep.
Could be a great land opportunity, and there's examples of that here in Arizona too. So it's not just a matter of, okay, where's there a lot of land that I can get at a good price? It's about, where is there a lot of land where I think there's going to be a demand in it. If you can get ahead of that curve, it might seem a little bit speculative, but honestly, if you'd follow Dave's sage advice, which is go talk to the Chamber of Commerce, go talk to the Economic Council, find out where the path of growth is going, then you can do great. Here's an awesome story about this. So one guy who did this massively, was massively successful at it. You would expect him to be massively successful because he was already a billionaire. Is H. Ross Perot. So H. Ross Perot bought up tons and tons of land in Denton County, Texas,
right above Dallas.
And then he went and he seduced a bunch of corporations to bring their headquarters in. And so now you've got Toyota headquarters are there. There's a whole bunch of them. I don't even know who else is there. Right. And now that area is as densely populated almost as Dallas is. It's huge. Mm-hmm. And all that land, he got it for a song, because nobody was interested in it when he bought it, until he brought all those companies in and made it better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about covers the topic.
All right. So, in summary, in the past, we've been really successful by focusing on product. Throw some chum in the water, and by chum I mean sending out a bunch of offer letters, and then scooping up the ones that look good, buying that inventory and putting it on the market and selling it. Starting with product first, working backwards to the customer.
Yep.
In the market going forward, I think you want to probably spend some of your time focusing on the end customer, who wants to buy, who's got what I call MOW. No relationship to the chairman, but motivation, opportunity, and what's the A? I forgot the A. Whatever. So, but they've got the money.
Biden moment there, buddy.
but well, you know the thing. So start with the customer, understand them, build that persona, and then buy for the market that you're going to sell to, and I think you'll do great.
Exactly, and I mean, just to simplify that, if at very least, just buy quality properties.
Absolutely.
Just buy quality properties. Stay away from the junk.
Yep, you got it. All right, guys, have a great time. We're going to get back to what we're doing here on the water.
We hope you enjoyed this episode, had a bit of fun, and walked away with some actionable insights that you can apply to your business. Dave and I have got some great content and interviews planned, so don't forget to rate and review, and of course subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. If we mention any interesting links or tools, you'll find them in the show notes. To learn more about Land.MBA, visit our website at, wait for it, Land.MBA. See you next time on the Land.MBA Podcast.